Hi, everybody. It's September 28th, Thursday night, and I would like to explain what to do for this long weekend because, as you know, on Monday we have a holiday, Truth and Reconciliation, and Orange T-shirt Day. And some of you were not there today, so they didn't get the homework, they didn't get some of the explanation. So I would like to explain everything. You have 4 days to watch this video and finish the work. The ones who are there, they got the paper version. The ones who are not there, please just write it down in your notebook, and then Tuesday we will discuss it. So again, a reminder that Monday the school is closed. There are no classes on Monday, so see everybody on Tuesday. So let's see what we have for this weekend. Okay, so if we go to our blog, I will send this out for the students, and also in Messenger, I will send out the links and the papers already did today. Okay, so as you know, September 30th is a statutory holiday that is named National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. These are the two papers, the two homeworks I already sent out in Messenger. The students who were in class, they got the paper version. Okay, let's see. So if you want to learn more about National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, you can click here. I already clicked, so this is the government's website. And let's see what it says here. Like I won't read everything because for level 2 it's a little bit high, but I will try to explain some of it. So each year, September 30th marks the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. This day is to honor and remember the children who didn't return home. So some of these children, they were taken from their families. And one second, I think I didn't share the screen. Sorry about that. I will start again. Okay. So move this one a little bit. So as I said, this is our blog. So on the blog, you can see that I put that September 30th is a statutory holiday named the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. These are the two papers that I sent out in Messenger, but some of you were not there. Some of you who were there, they got the paper version. So here, if you click on this one, it will take you to this website where the government explain what this holiday is. So the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, it's on September 30th, and it's to remember and honor the children who did not get back home to their families, and some of the survivors who did get back to their families couple years later after they finished the residential school. So they are commemoration to remember these things, what happened. Many commemorations of this history of the residential schools and the children who were there. This federal statutory holiday was created by the parliament, okay? And this is the newest holiday. I believe it was created in 2021. So wear orange. You will understand later why to wear orange, because there was a little girl who wore a t-shirt. It's a story on our paper. So both the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation and the Orange Shirt Day, it's on September 30th. So these two holidays, they get together. It's called Orange Shirt Day and the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation. They just want people to remember and promote, tell everybody that every child matters. Doesn't matter if that child what race that child is, what language does that child speak. Every child should be the same. So all the children should be the same. And the orange shirt is a symbol. The orange shirt is a symbol of they wanted to take away the children's freedom and self-esteem. So these poor indigenous children were not treated the best way. unfortunately. So that's what we try to remind people, that every child is the same, every child matters. Okay, they will have, like all over Canada, they will have public activities to commemorate the history of and legacy of residential schools. If you wanna see more, you can click on these blue links. On the Parliament Hill, to commemorate the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, and to honor the survivors. Survivors are the kids, the people who didn't die in these schools, their families and communities. Buildings across Canada will be illuminated in orange from September 30th at 7 p.m. to October 1st sunrise. So I will try to find a picture of this, and then I will show it to you on Tuesday, okay? So the Peace Tower and the Parliament Hill will be illuminated. It will be in orange light, just to remind everybody that all the children should be treated the same way. Okay. Did I want to show you? Indigenous people. So there are three groups of indigenous people who lived in Canada before the people from Europe came over, from England, from France, from Spain. First, there are three different groups. One is the First Nations, then the Inuit that live mostly in northern Canada, and the Métis community. So these are the three groups of Aboriginal people. Okay, so I just wanted to show you. So what happened? Many children were taken away from their families. They didn't want to go. The parents didn't want their children to be taken away, but they had to go to these residential schools. They got their uniforms. Everybody was dressed the same way. Everybody had to speak English. They didn't let them speak their own languages. They didn't have enough food. So many children, they got sick and they died there. I just wanted to show you another one. A little bit about these schools where the indigenous people were taken, Aboriginal people, and this one I think is this. Okay, so let's see. I have a picture. Okay, so the residential schools, these special schools existed between 1800s and the late 1900s. They were founded by the government and run by the church. Okay, mainly. 1 in 25 children died because they got sick, because they tried to escape, something happened to them, they didn't have enough good food, it was cold for them. So there are many books, and you can read about them if you want. Okay, and about 150,000 indigenous children attended these schools between the ages 4 and 16. The last residential school closed in 1996. What they wanted to do, they wanted these children, you see how these are colored children, and when they come out, they're all the same. What they wanted these children to go to these schools, forget their languages, forget their culture, and just come out like all the same. So the purpose of these schools was to assimilate, to make them the same, to assimilate in the Canadian culture. And assimilate indigenous children, these children, to Christian European ways. So to teach them the European way. Okay, many survivors. What are survivors? Survival meaning the people who did not die. They actually lived after the school. Survivor. Of these schools reported emotional, physical, spiritual, sexual, and mental abuse. Abuse means like, for example, the physical abuse, they were hit, they were kicked. Emotional, they said bad things to them, so the kids were always crying. Mental abuse, they couldn't go back to their parents and families, so they were abused. Okay, let's see. Okay, next one. this is your homework, actually, the part 1. Make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so the part 1 is only just couple sentences, 2 sentences, 3 or 2. September 30th is a statutory holiday named National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, declared by the federal government. You remember federal meaning for all Canada. On this day, some people wear orange t-shirts to remind everyone that every child matters. Every child is the same. Okay, so what you have to do, number 1, the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation is on what day? Is it October 1st? Is it October 31st? Is it September 30th? It's up here, or you have to do copy that here, September 30th. People wear red, orange, or blue t-shirt on this day. We talked many times. I said the color, it's an orange. So circle B and copy orange up here. The orange t-shirt reminds everyone that every child matters. Is that true or false? True, yes. False, no. Yeah? Okay, part 2. This is about the residential schools. A little bit of history. In the 1880s, the federal government began taking indigenous children from their homes. The children were sent to Indian residential schools against their wishes. That meaning that against their wishes, they didn't want to do it. They forced them to do it. And against the wishes of their families. The families didn't want the children to be taken away. They didn't want the children to go and never come home. Residential schools were paid for by the government, so the government paid for the school. They were run by churches. The last residential school was located in Regina, Saskatchewan. It closed its doors, so it's closed. The school closed in 1996. In all, about 130 residential schools operated across the country. They were found in every territory and province except Newfoundland, so they didn't have any residential school in Newfoundland, in Prince Edward Island, and in New Brunswick. There were no residential schools there. Some 150,000 children attended these schools over the years. So, question number 1. Where were the indigenous children sent? To Indian residential schools or high schools? I think everybody knows if you listen. If you didn't listen, then read the story again. Residential schools were paid for by the government. Yes or no? Number 3. Where was the last residential school? In Newfoundland or Regina, Saskatchewan? Number 4. About how many children attended these schools? You just have to copy the number of children. If I remember, it was 150,000. Okay. Did the children want to go to these schools? No, they didn't. Did the parents wanted to send their kids to the schools? No, they didn't. Against someone's will, as I already said, it means without someone's consent, they don't want to do that, but they had to. They had no choice. Okay. Part 3, Orange Shirt Day. It's just a little story, a true story about this girl. Okay, it was 1973. 6-year-old Phyllis Webstead was excited about her first day at St. Joseph's Residential School in Williams Lake, BC. What is BC, you remember? British Columbia. Her granny meaning grandmother, had bought her a new bright orange shirt for the occasion. But when she proudly arrived, she was happy to go to school. Arrived at school, her excitement turned to terror. She was really scared. The staff cut her hair, so the people who were in school, she had beautiful hair, long hair, they cut her hair. She was forced to change out of her clothes. She had to take off her clothes. Her new shirt was taken away and she never got it back. So when she arrived, she had a beautiful, bright orange t-shirt that from her grandmother, but the school took her shirt, never gave it back. And then she said later on, 40 years later, because she survived the school, 40 years later, this woman said, the color orange has always reminded me of that and how my feelings didn't matter. They didn't care if she was sad. They didn't care about her crying. Nobody cared. And how I felt I was worth nothing, said Phyllis 40 years later. So that's her story. A child's story who in 1973 went to residential school, and then 40 years later, as an adult, as a woman, was telling everybody what happened to her at that school. Okay, so what is the staff? The people at the school. What did the staff at school do to Phyllis's hair? They cut Phyllis's hair. You remember she had beautiful hair? They cut her hair. What was the color of the girl's t-shirt when she got to school? Again, the first part had orange. So her t-shirt was orange, okay? Did the school ever give back her t-shirt? Did the school said when she left, okay, here's your t-shirt? No, they didn't. So circle B. Okay? So this would be your homework. You have 4 days. You can watch the video whenever you have time and try to do it. If you don't have the paper because you are not here, not at school today, then please just copy in your notebook, and you don't have to copy everything. You can just copy the numbers 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, and circle the correct answers. Okay. So again, just a reminder, Monday there will be no school. So see everybody on Tuesday. Okay. Have a nice long weekend, everyone. Bye.